Hi, this is Raj from Sportscars. I'm just doing this quick video to actually talk about an issue which nearly cost us the sale of this beautiful 911 Targa 4S 997 Gen 2, a car we've known for the last 4 years. We know it's good. It's only done 31,505 miles. It's 2024, so it's 14 years old. Very low mileage, always been serviced on time. We've just had it serviced. With most of these cars, if there's time to, I will put them through a fresh MOT before the owner collects them. And that's exactly what I aim to do with this car. It was due in 5.5 months' time. So I thought, well, it's prime for just having a fresh MOT, just to have a final check over, final safety check. And lo and behold, it actually failed. Now, it wasn't actually down to anything that you would normally expect it to fail on, things like oil leaks or suspension components that need replacing because they're knocking, or anything, the brakes failing or something like that. It was actually down to something called Lambda. And this video, I'm going to talk about how it was diagnosed, how we came to the root cause of the problem. In essence, yes, we got it to pass. We got the emissions to all pass. It was only failing on Lambda, which is actually, the Lambda was positive, so it's actually running too lean, and there was too much oxygen coming out of the exhaust pipes over and above what it's expecting it to have. And this can occur with any car. You can have a high Lambda on any car. The first thing that we did was get it back on the ramp at the Porsche Specialist to make sure that there wasn't a leak in the exhaust that was basically sort of sucking more oxygen in post-combustion after the engine output. Exhaust was fine. We then reset all of the fueling parameters, and you can do that by simply just disconnecting the battery of your car for 30 minutes or so, and then it will redo all of its adaptions when you start it up the next time. So that's also something that we did, reset all of that actually with the diagnostics in this case to make sure that the fuel adaptions were all correct. We'd obviously checked that there was no leaks on the intake as well, so that could be another reason why you would have an issue, is that the air intake after the mass airflow sensor is allowing additional oxygen into the engine, which isn't being measured. So therefore, there's more oxygen than required for fueling to complete the combustion process. Again, there was no leaks on that side. So basically, they then also took it for a very hot run before taking it back to the MOT station for the second test. And it failed again. Exactly the same problem, even though the whole system was hot, the caps were hot. And I must stress that the actual CO and HC, hydrocarbon tests, were all within parameters. And I'll just show you this. This is the failure. So it passed on idle, but on the fast idle test, so that's where they rev it. They have to rev it within a certain parameter. It was passing on, obviously they were correctly putting it in the right rev range. It's passing on the carbon monoxide. It was actually at 0, and the hydrocarbons as well was actually at 0. But it was failing on this Lambda, so that means that basically there was too much oxygen coming out, so it was throwing out the whole formula. Second time, so they get a second chance to do it, failed again, exactly the same thing. Again, carbon monoxide was well within tolerance, as was the hydrocarbons. It was just the Lambda was way out. In fact, my own mechanic was adamant, oh, maybe it's down to the tester. Is he putting the exhaust testing equipment far enough into the tub? But he put it in further. Well, he says he tried to redo it himself with the tester, and he got an even higher figure of 1.05. So then we went back to the drawing board and thought, well, what is wrong with this car? Because it's been passing MOTs. It passed one in April. We had the emissions test, and it was absolutely fine. So then it came down to, well, has the car been remapped? And is it a poor remap? Has it had an electrical glitch on the map itself? So being a member of the Porsche network. You can get the latest maps downloaded from Porsche centrally in Germany, installed on your car to make sure it is the standard map and it's the latest revision of that map. So that's what they did. They did that, but then also they decided to actually look at the mass airflow sensor. So this is another thing. They'd actually already cleaned this. So this is the device that measures how much oxygen is going through the mass airflow sensor to then adjust the fuel air mix in the engine. This is a direct fuel injection car, so it has to be very accurate. And so they cleaned all this up anyway, and that it hadn't passed it. So in the end, then they said, well, this could be faulty. And if it's giving faulty readings to the engine, then it's going to be not putting the correct mix through the engine. So they decided to replace it. And actually pulling this out, they actually saw that this was a replaced unit itself. It's actually a Bosch unit, which is 986. So it's got a 986 part number there, which you may not be able to see, I don't know. This wasn't supplied on the car when it was new. So clearly someone had an issue with the mass airflow sensor or that part of the car in the past, and they had put in this unit, which used to be in the past compatible with these 997 Gen 2s, which were, 986 parts. So this is a part that was designed in sort of the year 2000 or so, possibly earlier. This is no longer listed as compatible with this engine. So the new part, when it arrived, looked completely different. It's got a different part number. It's a Bosch part, obviously. These are all Bosch parts which are used on these cars. It was a completely different shape. This one also, when they pulled it out, had some oil in it, but it wasn't from the intake of this car because this car didn't have oil in it. So their thinking was that this was a used unit put at some point in the past, possibly 2018, 2019, into the car, and it's been working absolutely fine until this year. So they pulled this out, put the new one in. They'd put a new engine map, which was the complete standard one, just in case that had been changed. They took it for another test, and lo and behold, it passed pretty much almost perfect. So ideally, you're looking for a figure of 1.000. That would mean it's got a perfect fuel mix, perfect amount of oxygen coming through the system, and it passed immediately. As soon as it was put into the emissions, as soon as he saw the results coming through, even on idle, the MOT tester said, this is going to pass now. It's running a lot better, a lot cleaner. And it just goes to show you that, it was a few days of panic for us because we'd taken a deposit on the car. The car was supposed to be all ready to go. And then we had this thing that led us to absolutely scratching our heads on how to solve it, because I'm not selling a car that can't pass an emissions test, can't pass an MOT. It's just not acceptable. So luckily, the specialist managed to fit it in at very short notice because they're booked out for months. They managed to spend a few hours on it, get it diagnosed, take it for a retest, it still failed, then find some more things to look at, such as this mass airflow meter, MAF, and it fixed it. Now, this video also applies to any car which has got high lambda. Obviously do those other checks first. So check for leaks in the intake, check for leaks in the exhaust, check has it been remapped. And then essentially you might need to start looking at whether you need a new mass airflow meter, because that could be throwing out the mixture in your car, especially if everything else is okay. So these cars, the cats were working even though it failed, because it was the exhaust catalytic converters were cleaning out the harmful chemicals to the right amount. It was just the lambda was wrong. So this video is about diagnosing that specifically. On a Porsche or any other car, it's well worth sort of going through this process of elimination. Ideally, cheapest to most expensive thing. This was more expensive than sort of like a little bit of pipe work or just plugging a leak. But I think this was around £200, 170 plus VAT or something like that, for a new mass airflow meter. But that solved the issue, and now the car is all ready to go and be enjoyed by its new owner. If you do have any questions about this kind of diagnosis, 911s or anything like that, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.